comic books, movies, TV, and more. Nerds are everywhere. It's time to assemble! It's Nerds United.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new Nerds United on the Jittery Monkey Podcast Network and also on YouTube. And we are happy to be here with you. I'm tickled to be back with my co-host of the year. We'll announce his name in a minute. My name is Greg Mahochko. I'm the host. This guy over here is the co-host of the year, Mike Luther. Hello, Mike.
Hello to all the Nerds United people and to the people in Texas. Howdy, partner. That's how you say hello in Texas. I learned that.
Yeah, but you don't get $1 for every time you say it. So
howdy, partner.
If you did, you'd be moving to Texas.
Oh, Greg, how is it going right now?
Well, it's going all right, Mike. It's going all right.
Greg, can I give you a scenario?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say that you come home, right? Before you come home, you have a package at the door. Mm-hmm. What do you do?
I get out of my vehicle, I go get the package, and then I take it inside.
Okay, so he's taking it inside. Now, let's say you didn't order anything, right?
Yep.
Which most likely would happen. So, okay, what do you do in that situation?
Chances are it still has my name on it because of the Amazon account in my name, so I still open it.
Okay, so you open it. Okay, let's say you open it and you don't recognize what's in it, and then you talk to Ashley and she doesn't recognize what's in it. What do you do then?
Get the sender, like the return address, and see who sent it.
Okay, perfect answer. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I was hoping to get one right.
Yes. No, I mean, it was all right. Like, yeah, if you see Amazon package, you're probably going to pick it up. I would guess you probably assume like, okay, Ashley got something. Right.
As I mentioned, it's all kind of under my.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I get notified when she orders something. It also makes it difficult around the holidays.
True.
We have a standing rule of don't check email, don't look at Amazon, and don't look at the bank account from like the beginning of December to Christmas. Just,
Okay, that's fair. Reason I say that, and you did it right. Like, hey, you thought this isn't mine. Let me check. Oh, it's the wrong address. Okay, it's the neighbor's. Let me bring it over to the neighbor or whatever.
In that case, no. I mean, I always look at the label to make sure it came to this house.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So,
I apologize.
That's the first thing you do. Okay, even better. All right. My neighbors, not my direct neighbors, but the ones like building over, apparently don't like to do that. There's been like twice now that I've gotten a notification saying, "Hey, your package has arrived," and luckily they take a picture of it.
Right.
And I look at the picture and I go, "That's not my door."
No.
And I would expect the neighbor to be like, "Oh, this I didn't order this," unless they're ordering the same exact thing I do. But I don't think they are. So luckily for Amazon, for the most part, I just message them or whatever, or do a customer service thing. And I go, "Hey, I never got this." And then they usually go, "Did you talk to your neighbors?" And I want to go, "No, I don't talk to my neighbors. Not the ones over there."
I mean, I don't talk to my neighbors. I've been here 7 years.
Yeah, I don't talk to them. So, well, yeah. So, all right, you passed the test. Good job.
So did you get your things? Your belongings, or are they resending them just so you don't have to have an awkward conversation?
Yeah, they resend them because I was like, "Did you talk to your neighbors?" I'm like, I just went, "Yeah." They say I didn't really though. Sorry, Amazon.
I can't believe you lied to Amazon.
I know.
What is Jeff Bezos going to do? What is he going to think?
Yeah.
Oh, what the level of disappointment, Mike? I can't even. That's what the kids are saying, right? I can't even.
They're saying word, yo.
Word to your mother.
You know what I realized whenever we do this on YouTube and I look back at it?
Mm-hmm.
My hands, they get too close to the camera sometimes and they just look weird.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I have to try to, I don't know.
I've found myself, and I have to be more cognizant of it when I'm at work, because I do start talking with my hands quite a bit. So sometimes I make a point where instead of, doing all of this hand motion, I just sit there, my hands kind of right in front of me, and I say, yes, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Tim and Susie, whatever names are, irrelevant. I said, I'm doing it now as I'm explaining it. I'm moving my.
I think talking with your hands is fine. I think it's better. I think it would be weird if you didn't talk. I mean, if you just like your hands were right at your side.
I am a robot.
This is how I talk.
That reminds me of Grandma's Boy.
Oh yes,
you remember? I can't remember the weird guy's name, but JP.
Yes,
JP.
That's a good movie.
I want to smell your hair or whatever. It went weird quickly.
What? All right, it's expected.
Well, so aside from packages being delivered to the wrong place, how are you, man? What's been going on?
I've been doing good. I'm trying to think of anything wild that. Remember the thunderstorm, the bad thunderstorm we had not that long ago?
Howdy.
Tell you right now, you probably shouldn't drive in that. And I'll tell you.
I feel like there's a cautionary tale here.
Yes, because I forgot what day that was. There was one of those that goes really bad, and we had like the sirens went off, and we had like alerts on our phone saying from like 4:30 to 5, whatever. Here's the thing, though: live in Illinois, get thunderstorms all the time. I think it's weird whenever there's like an alert for a thunderstorm, like, okay, it's going to rain really hard. Ooh, it's going to lightning, right? I think I'll be okay. So I was like, you know what? I need to make a trip, to the gym.
Yeah. That so the destination did not surprise at all.
Oh, actually, I'll tell you right now, it was a Saturday because I was having people over for the UFC pay-per-view.
Oh,
and I was like, okay, I want to get to the gym. I'll get a good workout in, and then I got to go to Walmart, pick up some stuff, and then come back here because I was going to make like a chili cheese dip. I just had to throw in the slow cooker. It's easy, right? Anyway, so I leave at 4:30, and actually, as I walked out the door, I'm noticing like it's really windy and it's really raining. I'm like, oh, like should I go? I'm like, yeah, it'll be fine. I'll be fine. Oh no! Once I got on the road. I mean, cars were pulled over. You could barely see in front of you. And I'm just going to keep trekking on. I know it's going to take a little bit longer, but, being careful and stuff like that. Actually, I think I was fine. I just the other drivers that I was more worried about.
Always, yeah, because they're horrible.
So I finally get to the gym, which normally it takes 10 minutes. This time it took like 25 minutes, right? And I was thinking about this too, and I even checked online before. As soon as I pull up, there's no lights on in there. And I'm like, oh great. They lost power.
You didn't call ahead.
I didn't call ahead, but I was looking on their Facebook because normally if there's power outage, they'll put something on Facebook, right? But then I pull up a little bit more and I see there's still people inside. So they're still working out. That's fine. I'll do a dark workout, I guess. And so, but then I'm like, oh wait, I don't know how I'm going to get in because it's electronic to get in.
Key card.
The little key card thing.
Or key tab, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. And so, I park. I'm like, well, I'm here now. And I'd taken my pre-workout already. And
There's no turning back.
Yeah, so I start, heading in. And then one of the workers greeted me at the door. And they were really nice. And they're like, hey, our power's out right now. And I would be like, yeah, I know. And they're like, so we're probably going to close in like 10 minutes. They're like, you can come in, but like, just so you know, we're closing. I tell them, God dang it. And so I'm like, well, I can't. I just took this pre-workout, so I have like a ton of caffeine in me, So I'm like,
what did you do?
I have to get some kind of workout in. But I mean, I did like a warm up, and then I did like 2 exercises. But it was really weird because I was like, well, I almost didn't want to get started also. Because I didn't want to get like halfway through my workout, or not even halfway to. I mean, 10 minutes, it's like usually 1 or 2 exercises,
right?
And then have to leave. So I'm like, okay, this is just weird. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to leave. Oh, actually, also, by the time I left, not raining at all. Completely stopped raining.
That sounds about right. That sounds like your luck, honestly.
Yeah. And then so I ended up going to Walmart, getting my stuff, and I'm like, I'm going to drive by there just in case the lights are on now. And I drove by there. No, the lights were still off.
I'm a little surprised you didn't go to like the sporting goods section at Walmart and use some of like the free weights and things that were around. Be like, I'm just testing these out. Maybe you like, rip a stationary bike down and start pedaling real quick.
Just set up a bench press there.
That's right. And all of a sudden, like somebody in Home Goods is like, in the distance they hear, ugh.
That's probably the noises I make. That's the noises I make just getting up. So
yeah, well, we're old.
Yeah, but yeah. So probably shouldn't have done that, but I did and I survived. So I'm better for it now.
You know what? I have been in some pretty nasty storms, and I have to the point where I been on the interstate. I remember when this was 2007. I had to pull over. I was living in Cape Girardeau at the time, and I was heading home to, I don't know, hang out for the weekend or do laundries. I didn't have any friends. I can't say I didn't have any friends in Cape Girardeau, but I probably needed to do laundry. Didn't want to do the laundromat thing. So I came home, and but I was coming north on 55 there in Missouri, and it was so bad, this storm, that I actually pulled over. And I'm not one to do that because at that time, I was not even 25 years old. So I was throwing caution to the wind, baby. And I was just, let's see what happens. But I pulled over. So we've had, and I've, clients of mine have had some of their barn doors ripped in. And their in one particular pole barn, they had the sliding doors got kind of sucked in. Their sunlights got popped out, it created just an entire vacuum. The same folks had some windows in their house broken, a bunch of trees that were all tore up. It was a bad deal. So
that sounds no bueno.
Yeah, it's definitely not no bueno. But,
or as they would say in Texas, no good, partner.
I almost spit my water out. All right, so it's been a relatively quiet, busy, work-wise, but quiet week on my front. So I don't really have any fun stories to tell.
Okay, well that's all right. We get straight into the topic if you want.
Well, I didn't read anything, but I know we both watched something.
Okay.
We both watched in its entirety the first season of Twisted Metal.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what a joy that show was. I came into it kind of like you. I know we talked about this last week. You're like, it's there. Maybe I'll flip it on. I found that show to be so enjoyable.
Yes.
Everything from the writing. The writing was fun. The John Doe character, who's Anthony Mackie, I think. What did you call it? I said I'm a Mackie Mark, and what did you say?
I'm a Mac Daddy.
Mac Daddy. And you were right when we were talking about this in messaging. You're like, does it seem like it was written for Ryan Reynolds and he was too busy, and so they just took Anthony? I said it's tough because Reynolds, Ryan has done. We're on a first name basis. He's done such a good job of making that his gimmick, that sarcastic type of delivery and approach, that it almost, everybody, I think from here for the immediate future is going to be compared to Ryan Reynolds and be like, oh gosh, that sounds like something Ryan Reynolds would say. I think that Anthony Mackie was so good in that role.
Yeah, it took me about 3 episodes to get used to it, and then I was like, okay, got it. And you're right. If anybody who is sarcastic is going to be compared to Ryan Reynolds, right, especially if they do it well. One thing I enjoyed about the show is that even though I didn't recognize a lot of what I think were probably like Easter eggs or very obvious Easter eggs, I knew that what they were, like the Twister car or Twisty or whatever, just the way they framed it. The one, it was like the Roadster type of car. It was purple. It was one of the female characters.
Yeah. Towards the end. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, hey, look what I got. And frames up. I know there were probably people who played Twisted Metal a lot and remember it. They're like, oh my God, that car. That's a little, I assume. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
And then I
was just gonna say, I remember playing, original Twisted Metal, maybe Twisted Metal 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I don't remember any. Were those Subarus or what was John Doe driving primarily? Evelyn. Was that a Subaru?
Probably, yeah, sure.
But I don't remember that particular. I remember more like the one he finished the show in. That was all armored up, that type of thing. So,
and then what was I going to say? At the end, I was even trying to look this up because when they, by the way, spoiler alerts, I guess, whatever. At the end, when they have the tournament and they're putting the pictures up, I know there was certain ones that are like, oh, people are going to know who that is,
right?
And I tried to look it up to be, who's in the tournament, and I couldn't find anything online. But I do know that I don't think they've announced season 2 yet. But I sure hope they do it.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things I said to you, I think it was midway through the season when they were doing the Sweet Tooth origin, and I don't really want to get into it for people who have it because it's such a shocking moment. But I remember I said, "Oh my gosh, Sweet Tooth, what a horrible origin story," and I said, "But in the best way." Yeah, like in the most entertaining way for us. You're like, oh my gosh.
You also messaged and said, how long is his head going to stay on fire?
Right.
I said, well, how long was it on the video game?
Probably in perpetuity, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. It took me till maybe the 3rd, 4th episode. I'm like, I don't really think that's Samoa Joe talking, and why does Will Arnett keep popping up in the credits? Because Will Arnett was voicing Sweet Tooth.
Yep, they kind of work together, I guess. And,
which I thought was funny because like Samoa Joe has a very distinct look, and the origin story of Sweet Tooth that we get, you look at like,
yeah, you're like, well, that's not him.
There's a different skin tone there altogether.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I digress. Overall, show was a lot of fun. Stephanie Beatrice as Quiet was awesome.
Yes.
And I remember first seeing her in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh yeah.
And I know she was in a Disney movie last year. I think
Encanto. Yeah.
But it was funny because with small children, I mean, like I've watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine thanks to your and best friend of the show, Josh's urging, and I've watched Encanto several times because I have children. So it was weird to be like, that voice, this dropping all these F-bombs, is also the one singing about this magical house.
Oh yeah.
So it was fun juxtaposition. But no, I really did enjoy across the board. I really enjoyed Twisted Metal. Like you, I'm excited for season 2. And I do have a feeling though that in that tournament style, it's going to pit John Doe against Quiet. Like they're going to meet up again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
But I also think that she made a spoiler. She made a mistake in shooting him. I think they should have just ridden off together.
Yeah.
So he was ready. He's like, no, you my girl. We're gonna do this thing together. And she's like, nope, I'm not gonna stand in the way of your dream. She shot him. She's like, he needs medical attention. Take him inside.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun.
I like when he's inside the pizza delivery guy. He gets the pizza and he's like, "Oh, do you want bullets or gas?" It's like there's cash right there. And he's like thanking him for his like, "I want to thank you for your journey," or whatever he says.
No, you definitely tell that he needs to adjust to life on the inside.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Hey, if you haven't watched Twisted Metal yet, you can check it out in its entirety. It's on Peacock.
Yes.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else out of the normal that I've watched. I don't think so. Like I've been rewatching Ted Lasso. That's no surprise. I don't know if we talked about this. I think since the last time we did a show, Had I watched Transformers: Rise of the Beast,
I don't know if
or
we
was that
talked about it.
after?
Might have been after.
So I got Paramount Plus. It's only $5.99 a month if you take the one with ads, and I'm fine with that. So I watched Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Really enjoyed it. You were the one who told me that was on there.
Yep.
So now my plan is to go back and watch all the Mission Impossible movies, since we talked about that last time around, and that was like a fun conversation and a little walk through memory lane.
Then you'll realize how accurate my ranking was. You watch them, and then you're going to re-rank and go, oh wow, okay. The Mission Impossible one, that's definitely not the best one. Okay, and then you'll see how accurate mine is. But I'll wait for that. That's fine.
Okay, yeah, you. Here's what I found out. Here's what I knew, but since I didn't have it, I didn't ever, like pull the trigger. The OG MacGyver is on Paramount Plus.
Interesting.
And so we sat down as a family earlier this week and watched the pilot episode. And I'll tell you what, I still really, I have such fond memories of watching MacGyver, because that was like the first show I remember watching with my dad.
Right.
So like it'll always have that special place in my heart and in my nostalgia. But if you update, modernize the cars a little bit, like some of the attire things, like it's a show that still very well holds up, I think.
Okay, good.
When you look at that first episode, and there's like they're in the control room of this lab, and you see what mid 80s lab, technology. It's like watching the old NASA footage of the the moon landing and things like that. It's that type of antiquated technology now. But I'll tell you, 40 years ago, that was top-notch stuff.
Of course.
So I'm gonna really enjoy going back and watching that show. There's some marquee episodes that I still to this day remember beat by beat, and I'm really excited to get to those. So,
what did the family think of it?
My wife knew exactly what it was before she's like, she's working on crocheting, which the farmer's market we did last week was a big success, and excited for more. But she's like, MacGyver? She's like, I didn't even have to look up. and Gary was like, he's like, it's not cartoons.
Right. Understandable.
My wife, I said, what do you want? Would you, this was like the next night. I said, MacGyver or Smallville? She's like, I'd prefer Smallville. I said, okay.
Good. Yeah. Understandable.
Good to know the hierarchy.
Yeah.
So, any new discoveries for you, sir?
No, I finally watched the animated Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah,
the 2023 one. It was really good. It's on. A lot of fun. It's on Peacock now.
We watch it about once a week now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you end up buying it? I guess
we did.
Okay, but it's a smart buy, really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, until now when it's free on Peacock, but still, at the time, it was probably a smart buy.
Yeah, it got us through it got us through a day out of school, something like that.
Perfect.
Is what it
Perfect.
Was.
Nice.
Well, Mike, we have a really fun topic to discuss tonight. Just a couple little quick things in the news and notes department I wanted to bring up, since you brought them to my attention, and I shared them on Facebook about 15 minutes ago. You said this, and you're like, well, his career is over. Arrow star Stephen Amell says, I do not support striking, criticizes the actor strike, and declares it incredibly frustrating. Now, he says it's incredibly frustrating and reductive. Let's see what his clarifying statement is. I support my union, I do, and I stand with them, but I do not support striking. I don't. I think it's a reductive negotiating tactic, and I find the entire thing incredibly frustrating. And I think the thinking as it pertains to shows like the show that I'm on, Heels, that premiered last night, I think it's myopic.
So essentially what he's saying is, hey, because of the union that I'm in, I can't promote the show that I just did. Which, look, I understand you work hard on the show and you want to be able to promote it, but guess what? You can't right now, and for good reasons. Now, granted, he's still promoting it, and he's not supposed to, but he's just promoting it in a different way.
Can he promote it via social media?
I don't know the exact rules. From what I've heard, you can't go on a podcast. That's why we don't have a bunch of celebrities on our podcast right now.
That's why
normally he would probably be on here promoting it, but they can't go on like podcasts or like late night talk shows at least they can't go on to promote stuff. And so I don't know if there's a gray line of him just being like, hey, well, I'm just lately been doing this heels thing. I don't know, might be on Stars. I don't know. Check it out.
So when you read further down this article on Screen Rant, he says that, it says Amel's not the only one unable to promote an exciting project right now. Disney's recent Haunted Mansion had a red carpet premiere without any of the actors.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I mean, well, that makes sense, though, because it has to do with ghosts. So maybe there was just ghosts there.
Well played. Oh, no, that's good marketing, actually. I'm surprised they didn't think about that, because Disney's usually a step ahead.
It's true.
Usually, yeah. So that's one news and note. Another news and note, I should say, is allegedly, and we talked about this because you basically said, look, Marvel needs to, and maybe they can't during the strike. I don't know. But basically said they need to shit or get off the pot and start confirming some of these offers that they're making for roles in the Fantastic Four, because it's always an offer and then it's a rumor or report and then it's not confirmed. In fact, they say that's not the case at all. But the most recent one, at least to my knowledge, is that Morbius actor and probably more famously Doctor Who actor Matt Smith has reportedly been offered the role of Reed Richards.
Yeah, and again, we have no idea because, and by the way, I don't even blame the studio on this one. I blame the article writers. I guess they're just it's clickbait, and they're just wanting to find something, because I'll scroll through and it'll say Matt Smith offered the role of Reed Richards, and then the next one would be like somebody else offered the role of Reed Richards. Adam Driver offered the role of Reed Richards, and the next one, Adam Driver said he declined it. Then the next one, Adam Driver might do it. Then the next one, Matt Smith is thinking about not doing it. And go back and forth. Another one, I didn't even send you these articles, but it was I swear it said Jack Quaid offered the role of Johnny Storm.
Oh.
And then I looked at the comments, and somebody had posted a tweet of his or a message of his or something that said, I'm flattered, but no, I've never been offered this.
Yeah.
And the next one, I swear to when I scrolled, the next one was that we got it wrong. It wasn't Jack Quaid. It was Joe Quinn being offered the role.
Would have been really funny if they'd have said it wasn't Jack Quaid. It was Randy Quaid.
It was Randy Quaid.
Bastard.
So yeah, maybe granted, maybe they can't announce anything right now. Oh, and then also heard another article was that it's going to be set in the 60s, which is something that has been debunked a while back. Yeah, so I don't know.
People
maybe I'm Reed Richards. Who knows? I'd take it. I have the gray hair for it.
Actually, realistically, I think I'd much rather have you as a Wolverine.
I can do that.
Yeah,
me and him are probably about this. Well, we're probably about the same weight.
Is that with or without adamantium?
That's without my adamantium. I would have to add that in, which is it's an expensive procedure. That's how I'm hoping we get a lot more subscribers.
Yeah, that's right. If you want Mike to have adamantium bonded to his skeleton, we really need you to hit that subscribe button on YouTube and on the favorite podcast app of your choosing. Tell your friends, and we too can get it done for Mike, because he needs it. We need it. We need this for him.
There is a video online, and I would give him credit if I remembered who it was, but it was like amateur video or whatever. And they were like, I think it starts off they finally these kids or whatever finally get enough money to get adamantium crafted on the skeleton or whatever, and they're like, I can't remember exactly, but I remember they do it, and then it's just a clip of them with like Wolverine claws coming out and tons of blood, and them just screaming like, "Oh God, it hurts so bad," because they don't have healing power. So
yeah,
the
good news is you're definitely strong enough to carry around the adamantium skeleton that's been bonded to your skeleton.
That's how I work out.
Yeah,
only for that reason.
Hey, look, at my age and condition, if it helps my knee, bring it on.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? I can't stand up. That's fine. I was more comfortable laying down anyway.
Word.
All right. Last thing before we get to our big fun conversation is a trailer that came out this week. Mike, you want to tell the folks about the trailer that came out this week?
I sure do.
All right, hit it.
It is one of my favorite trailers. It's a unique trailer, kind of. It is almost nostalgic, in a way. It reminds me of a time in the past where,
how far back?
When you think about it, it's like timeless. When you have a really good trailer like this, it's timeless, And look, can everybody watch this trailer? Yes. Because the trailer I'm talking about, and I knew what it was the entire time, is Loki season 2. I didn't look it up on my phone at all.
I'll tell you what, I'm more excited for Loki season 2 than I was for Loki season 1. I thought my opinion, I know everybody's like, oh, yeah. I didn't feel like Loki was Loki. I felt like he was, I don't want to say neutered, but he was like a little baby, trying to feel his way in the new world in a diaper. So I'm excited that at some point he's like, I've always been the god of mischief. And then you see him actually doing Loki things and using magic. And I'll say this, Loki season 1 is one of my least favorite Disney Marvel series or seasons. Loki season 2 looks like it's going to turn everything around. In my opinion,
I would agree with you. I liked the first season of Loki. I know you didn't. I remember you talking about it, and you said Loki, more like no key.
Right. That's exactly. Sounds like something I would say.
No, it does look really good. I forget when it comes out. I think it's October 17th.
Yeah, that's close.
2027.
Yeah, why not? 2020. Wait, what? 2027?
Yep. It's time travel.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
That's way too confusing, Mike. Don't do that to people. People are going to be confused.
Yeah. Look, if somebody is watching this right now to determine when they watch stuff, there's something wrong with you.
No. Mike, we have the best viewers in the whole wide world. The best listeners ever. Problem is we just don't have enough of them.
It's true. We want more love.
So, more. Hey, you love us more and we'll love you more. Mike, depending on who you are, Mike will love you all night long. All night.
I'm old now. I don't know about all night long.
He'll at least give you a good 20-minute try.
I'll give you attention for 20 minutes.
And a candy bar.
Yeah. But, candy bars for me, though. I need my energy. Yeah. If there's an extra one, sure, you can have it.
Well, Mike, I'm excited for this. The main course tonight. We've had a few appetizers. I want you to explain this topic in a way that only you can.
Okay, through interpretive dance.
You make the colors pretty.
I think we kind of talked about it maybe last episode, or maybe it was 20 episodes ago. I don't know. We're talking about how I don't think there's necessarily superhero fatigue in the sense of like people are tired of superhero movies and TV shows. It's just that there's so many new characters. And I think I mentioned like Shang-Chi came out at whatever 2018, and there's not even another one set up.
2020.
2020. There's not another one set up until probably past 2025 or whatever. So I thought to myself, I said, you know what? It would be good if there's a core group that they focus on, right? There's obviously going to be more characters, but these are kind of like, if you think about the original Avengers, you know, in the beginning, the focus was, as far as movies go, was on, you know, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, and Black Widow was in there, sure. You know, they had the core group. So I messaged you and I said, hey, I have a brilliant idea. Just kidding. I didn't say that. I just said, hey, how's this for a topic? And I said, we have to choose a new Avengers group, essentially, you know, like a core group. And we can choose from anybody that's been on a Marvel movie already or has been announced. So, you know, Fantastic Four has been announced. Blade's been announced. Echo's been announced. Probably other ones. I don't remember. But so I think we both have 7 characters.
Yeah.
And you were almost going to know what my characters are previously.
Yeah. But
maybe
I'm doing a quick. You keep going. I'm doing a quick audible on mine. I want to make one change. So if that allows you to go first, or however you want to
sure, I'll go first. I can go first. So the first one that I'm going to have on the team is one that you've already seen. And as soon as I was thinking of this, I was like, oh, should be somebody else. No, I want to keep it as this person. So I'm going to have Ms. Marvel on.
Oh,
now the reason I have her on is one, she has power, right? She's a younger Avenger. I think you want somebody young on the team, you know, and the actress really, really likes doing it. Like, she's a huge fan. So that's one of the main reasons I'm like, I can't get rid of her. Like, she's a absolute like type of that would freak out because she saw Chris Evans. Granted, I would too. But she's a huge Marvel fan. So you know what? I'm going to keep her on there. So you get to stay on there, Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan.
So what you got?
What do I got? I tell you, I had a last minute adjustment here.
Okay.
Which is funny because it's not my first one that I'm going with. So mine is also going to be a young female. It's going to kick off my squad. And this is I think what I'm doing is kind of leading up to maybe a surprise.
Okay.
But I'm starting with, you know, we saw her and allegedly she's gonna have her own show. We saw her in BP2, Wakanda Forever, and that is Riri Williams, aka Ironheart.
Perfect. She was almost on mine. Yes.
You know what? I think people who know me, and people have been like they're gonna come hear my list, and be like, I'm gonna surprise a few people.
Okay.
I think this is one of those surprises here. Look, again, her character, you know, she's one of the smartest people, you know, in Marvel Comics. I mean, she built this Iron Man-ish suit, Ironheart suit, as a student at MIT, I believe it was. You know, it's just, look, I think you're always going to need some heavy hitters. And that's kind of what, in my opinion, Ironheart is. So
I would say, heavy hitter, but also kind of like you mentioned, she's a genius and she builds stuff. So you need someone on the team that's, you know, going to repair stuff. You need the Iron Man replacement. Is the best way I can put it. You need that on the team. He was essential. All right, my next one, I'm going to go with somebody who is more on the horror side of things.
Do you say poor?
Well, no, he might be poor. I don't know. I'm thinking horror, like creepy.
Horror. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he could be poor too. I don't know how much money this guy has, but I'm going to go with Blade. Now I put the Wesley Snipes Blade because they don't have the other guy Blade.
Mahershala Ali.
I didn't see him, but just so you know, there's Blade. And honestly, part of the reason I thought of this one because I had rewatched Werewolf by Night, and I really like it. And I know he was well, there was rumors that the Blade character was going to be on there because he fits perfectly on there.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously wasn't, but having Blade on there can be a connection to if you want to bring Man-Thing in, or if you want to bring Werewolf guy in. I don't know if that's his actual name, but sure. Or any of those kind of, I put on my list. I put creepy because I know what I wanted for it.
Well, my next one, I think this is gonna be one of those shockers.
Okay.
But I think you have to have, dare I say, some veteran presence.
Oh, absolutely.
Guy who's been around. Maybe he knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
Mm-hmm.
Availability, I feel like, may be difficult, but I'm going with Agent Coulson.
Okay. You gotta. You know what? Every Avengers team except for mine has to have a guy with no powers on there, but he gets stuff done somehow, right? He has connections.
I mean, Tony Stark doesn't have any powers.
He has money. That's a power.
No, you're thinking of Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne also that's their powers, money.
So, again, I was going for. I wanted to put a team together that maybe hasn't had a whole lot of interaction.
I like it. I'm not against Phil.
Right, I don't know. I feel judged.
No. So my next one, I'm gonna go with okay. I'm gonna go with somebody who's been in space before, kind of lives in space and can kick ass. I'm going with Gamora.
Interesting.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know if this picture is the right picture. I mean, it's the right picture I sent you. But I'm going with specifically the Ravengers version of her. So the one after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Okay.
So she's not, she has the reason I say that is because, again, she can have a connection to the Ravengers. So the focus is on her. But, hey, if you want, the other people to come in, she can bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
And she has no connection to Peter Quill Peter Quill? Yeah. Star-Lord. So she's single and,
ready to mingle.
I'm available.
There you go. Gamora. Mike, I had no idea you liked freaky green alien chicks.
You know what? It ain't mean if they're green.
Okay. So my next one is a substitute. Not a substitute. It was a last minute change to the lineup, if you will. I'll tell you who I had originally was Wolverine. Not a bad selection.
Mm-hmm.
But I think going forward, I really and it was gonna be not Hugh Jackman Wolverine. But instead, I'm going with Moon Knight.
Interesting. Now, I know that Oscar Isaac is your favorite actor, and I assumed that you were going to have him on there.
Is he though?
I was surprised you didn't have that you weren't like, hey, can I only have Oscar Isaac characters in there? I thought that's what you were going to ask me.
Like Poe Dameron.
Yeah. Let's have an Oscar Isaac off,
I'll tell you what. Oscar Isaac apparently is an accomplished singer as well.
Okay.
One of the Pandora stations that I listen to, there's a song with him and I believe Marcus Mumford of Mumford and Sons. And it's a very nice song. It's off of a soundtrack to a movie I can't remember. But it's a very nice song, very pleasant to the ears.
Nice.
I think he should give up acting and just focus on his music.
But why when you can do both? When you're A+ at both, you keep doing it. By the way,
C- actor.
By the way, how is this instead? I want Gamora, right? Aura. Aura in Spanish is now.
Oh, jeez. Moving on. That was horrible. You should feel bad.
I thought it was really good. Okay, I'm trying to think.
I feel bad for you.
Okay. Okay. So another one I thought of. I said, and by the way, when I was doing this, at first I was trying to be like, okay, I want a space one, I want this one, different levels, and then it kind of just went all together. But this one is kind of more of my ground level, like street level type of person. Still has powers. Like I said, all mine have powers because they're Avengers. They have powers. Mine is Daredevil.
I knew you were going with that.
Mm-hmm.
I almost included Daredevil on my list. I'm glad I didn't.
I mean,
and in fact, I know I could have. I'll say this because I've seen both of our lists. We do have one in common.
I think I know which one it is.
You probably do. It's Gamora.
Okay. So you also want Gamora, right, Aura?
No, I'm married. But I would take Gamora on my Avenger team. No.
Okay.
Daredevil's a good addition. Brings a certain amount of credibility.
Mm-hmm.
Not one that made again, was right there. Right there as far as making on my list. But good selection, sir. I'm also gonna stay street level with next to no powers. Are you here for this one, Mike?
Okay.
I'm going with Kate Bishop.
Okay.
Haley, look, is it because it's Haley Steinfeld? Maybe.
Understandable.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say that. Kevin Smith would make a comment, be like, about Matt Damon or Ryan Reynolds. I'd watch him do anything, including my wife. Ha ha ha. I feel like it's difficult to say that about a young female, but I find her work terrific. I really enjoyed the Hawkeye series. That was hard to believe. I think almost 2 years old now.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed her in Bumblebee. And I know I've seen her. Oh, well, she voices Gwen Stacy in across the Spider-Man Into and Across the Universe, Spider-Verse, I should say, movies. Just really good. And again, I really liked that character. I liked the origins of that character and how she saw Hawkeye. He's like, man, we got big green guys and flying guys and super soldiers, and there's just this human on a roof just plucking aliens out of the sky with arrows. I really enjoyed that inspiration, and I've enjoyed the character. So I go with Kate Bishop.
Nice. All right, I'm going to go with I put him on the list. I mean, he's great at everything, but I put him on my list because he's my favorite character. And I'm just going to tell you right now, it's Spider-Man. I've always liked Spider-Man. Tom Holland Spider-Man is awesome, of course. But yeah, he's I guess he's sort of a kid. He's kiddish, I guess, in the movies at least. But yeah, he's strong. He's agile. His body looks almost as good as mine.
Almost. He's got more work to do in the beer department, but you're right.
Yeah. Yes.
Great addition there, Mike. I mean, he's friendly and from the neighborhood.
He is. By the way, I was also when I said Daredevil is my ground level one, I was almost thinking like technically Spider-Man's gonna be ground level too, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but
technically, I don't know if any of them are ground level because they do a whole lot of swinging from the rooftops.
That's true. Plus, man, how great would a Daredevil Spider-Man movie be?
That'd be fantastic. Ooh. Honestly, I think that would have, and especially with those, like, if it was like the Tom Holland Spider-Man, and as much as I potentially hate to say it, like the Netflix version of Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
Where it's complete opposite, like it's the Odd Couple type, because it's a different blending but similar versions of like the Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah, yes.
Like, Wolverine's not going to be over there like cracking wise and making jokes and no. So no, it'd be a lot of fun. So my next one, addition. I think this is member number 5 to my version of the Avengers. Is this character right here?
Ooh, who is this?
This is Bug Boy.
Bug Boy. Yes.
Bug Boy. Red and white Bug Boy. I'm sorry, red and blue Bug Boy. No, Spider-Man, of course. For people who aren't watching this on YouTube, first of all, foolish. You could be getting this, for free on YouTube, but no, Spider-Man. For the same reasons. First of all, Avengers typically are centered in New York. Who knows New York better than Spider-Man?
That's true. Yeah.
So
I like
that's
it.
That's me. What you got for me, Mike?
I think we only have 2 more left, right?
That's about it. Yeah.
Okay. So this one is a co-leader. Maybe assistant leader. And I wanted a guy that dealt in magic. And so I went with good old Doctor Strange.
Somehow, this is the one, as you were feeding me the characters, and so I could prepare the show visually. This is I'm like, son of a bitch! I forgot all about Doc Strange.
Yep,
I felt horrible about that because not only no, yeah, but thanks. Well, hold on, there you go. There you are. No, when you forget about Doc Strange, though, you also forget about Wong. You forget about the Ancient One. There's a whole lot that goes overlooked when you forget about Doctor Strange. So I really poo-pooed the bed on that one. I feel horrible. Good kudos to you for your addition. I definitely think with or without Agent Coulson, somehow your Avengers team beats my Avengers team. But
yeah.
We'll find out. We're not done yet. So I think this is my leader. And we've talked about this character. We've talked about this actor. Not a whole lot to say other than with great power comes great responsibility. And that is Sam Wilson, a.k.a. Captain America.
Okay, I like it. You're going new school, Captain America. I like it. Good.
I figured I can only resurrect so many people.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
And I kind of used that one on Coulson. So right or wrong. No, and again, we talked about our particular affinity for Anthony Mackie. So give him more screen time.
You know what I just thought of? It would have been so funny if I would have just picked the actual Avengers team, like the original Avengers team, and not said it, because technically you could, that's in the rules.
You could,
but I wonder how long it would have taken you to realize that's what I was doing.
When you got to the last one,
and you're like, wait a minute,
and then when you you put Nick Fury in there to throw me off a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm like, huh. So, no, yeah. Yeah, give me. Look, I'm a big fan of Captain America in any variety. I'm really excited for the Brave New World, not New World Order, but more Sam Wilson.
Yes,
in the Stars and Stripes. So,
all right, last one. I got my leader here, and this one, I thought, to be honest with you, I almost brought Iron Man back. I didn't though. But I said, who can lead a group, who has good powers, who's a genius?
Greg Mahochko.
That's what I was going to put. And then I was like, wait a minute, I don't think he's been announced yet for a Marvel project. I know he's in one, but I don't think he's been announced yet, so I can't put him in. Damn my rules, So instead, I went with what I call the second best Greg Mahochko, which is Reed Richards.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Feel like that's an awful lot of work to go through. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel like that's an awful lot of work to put your hands on your hips. But by golly, that's what he's doing.
I didn't even notice that. But yeah. Dude, you can just put your hands on your hips. What do you?
Or you could just fold them, across your chest. You don't have to fold them and loop them around. Just, if you're gonna do that, find Sue and put them on her hips. But gosh.
Mm-hmm.
That I'll tell you what, all these years later, and it's almost 30 years later, but there's still some funny lines that Brody's asking Stan Lee about the Fantastic Four, about like, the thing is all of his stuff at Orange Rock, including like, we never touched that in the old days. So good addition of Mr. Fantastic. So this is my wild card. This is the one that, honestly, I thought would be more shocking
Okay.
than I think it's going to be now. But as I was putting this team together, I'm like, this is who I want. He's got a lot of experience doing a lot of different things. He is on Earth. And so for my 7th of my group of Avengers, I'm going with Peter Quill.
That's a great pick. He almost made my list as well. And even
Really?
when I was thinking about him too, I also thought like, okay, do I want him on Earth or do I want him in space right now? Granted, he can start off on Earth and be like, you know what, Earth sucks. I'm going to go back and mess with.
But he's on Earth right now in the MCU.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. He's on Earth right now, but he could leave if he wants to.
What kind of cereal was he having? Do you remember?
It was Golden Grams.
I like Golden. Have you gone and watched Guardians Volume 3 since it became available on Disney?
I have not, but I'm going to.
Yeah, I think it's on the weekend to-do list.
Nice.
So as I kind of look at my list, I'll tell you what, my list surprises me.
Well, you made it, so it shouldn't surprise you.
Well,
somebody else make your list, or
no? That's right. I gave my phone to my 7-year-old and be like, here, write down some things. Does it have to make sense? It probably won't. Does it have to be any cohesion or chemistry? No. Just write down some things. Live your best. No. Agent Coulson being a bit of a surprise, but again, I just wanted some, like, I honestly thought about using like Shuri, but Shuri's in Wakanda trying to keep that going. I was not overly fond of Namor.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, like everybody else, I completely forgot about the Eternals.
Yes.
I another good one to add, like, I guess if we're doing honorable mentions or first alternates for the Avengers, White Vision, would be a good one. I mean, we haven't seen Vision in years, since the end of WandaVision. So I feel like he's probably due to pop up somewhere. Anybody that else for you that you gave consideration to, but ultimately let them off the list?
The only one that I could think of when I was thinking of space is Thor. I almost had him on there.
Thor been a good one. Hulk.
Yeah.
But like,
and there's tons of them. So this is what I want we should do right now is if you're watching this in YouTube, you should comment below of what Avengers team would win. And who do you think is who's your favorite Avengers team? Like out of the two? And it might not be the same, right?
Right.
Maybe you like, people without powers, and then you go with Greg's team, right? Maybe just like average, ordinary people and not superheroes. Then you go with Greg's team, right? And also, we should put maybe a poll or something on Facebook and in Twitter, and so we'll get 2 people voting. Hi, best friend of the show, Josh.
Josh won't listen because we talked about things that he hasn't watched yet, so he'll have paused it and he'll catch up to this in 6 to 12 months.
To this, what you tell best friend of the show, Josh, hey, fast forward to blah blah blah, whatever minutes it is, probably 40, and then he can watch it. And just
because Mike's going to give me all the time codes after this thing gets uploaded.
After it goes uploaded, I usually try to figure out where like the main topic starts.
You're a good lad, Mike.
I do it for my 4 listeners
and viewers.
Yep, and viewers. Yeah, we don't get 4 viewers. So I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's fantastic, Mike. Great topic as always. You bring them. You do great. You do great work with your topics. For those of you who don't know, it started as my show over 10 years ago, but Mike's really the one who He's the straw that stirs the drink, if you know what I mean. Without him, there is no Nerds United. I actually saw in my Facebook memories that it was 10 years ago, I think yesterday, that I did episode 2 of Nerds United.
Oh, okay.
Which was an interview with some independent comic creators. It was actually the interview took place at Heroic Adventures in Edwardsville.
Oh, nice.
Because Drew worked up there at the time. That was episode 2, and it was, let's say it released in the first week of August. Episode 1 came out the first or second week of June. So early on, we had some consistency issues, but we've really settled into a groove. I really like where we're at now, Mike. So thank you.
I agree. No problem.
So, anything else?
No, that's it. Perfect.
I will say this. I did find it was on Disney Plus. We watched tonight The Incredible Hulk, the Edward Norton Hulk movie.
Okay. Oh, it's on Disney Plus?
It is. And let me tell you, I really enjoy it.
Would you say it's incredible?
I would also say it's Hulk.
I should have won with that.
And Garrett's like, why do they call it the Hulk? I said, because he's a big hulking beast. I didn't really know how to answer that question. I should have said, because Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, decades back, decided that's what he needed to be named, just like we named you Garrett.
Or I'd be like, well, he's a huge fan of Hulk Hogan.
He didn't know who Hulk Hogan is. Like, we don't watch the wrestling.
Yeah. How are you raising this boy?
He doesn't want to play sports. Doesn't know who.
You don't leg drop him.
I'll tell you how I'm raising him. I'm failing.
No.
And I feel it every day.
Just go in there and just give him a good old leg drop.
That's right. Big boot.
The big boot for
leg drop. Go.
Yeah.
So, all right, Mike. Well, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you viewers and listeners out there on YouTube, on the various podcast apps. Tell the people you know about us. Make sure you tell them where to find us, because we're not going anywhere. We're here, and we enjoy getting together, talking about some of these nerdy topics, and we record it for your benefit and provides us an outlet and a reason to get together and chat. So for the co-host of the year, Michael Luther, I'm Greg Mahochko. This is Nerds United, where we remind you each and every week to be kind.
And goodbye, partner.
This is a production of the Jittery Monkey Podcast Network. For more jittery shenanigans, go to jitterymonkey.com.